means I'm gonna buy one then, I think.
I
Because I've been heavily considering it. I was like, maybe I should just pull the trigger on that and try a completely different. Because I bought a replacement build plate, for mine a while back, but
hmm
I still went textured PEI,
hmm
because I was still super new to this. It was like within the first couple of months that I had the printer. So I was like, well, maybe this plate is just like a little bit wonky. But yeah, then I was like, maybe I'll try that one. But I haven't bought it yet. I think that might be my next purchase for the printer is just going to be that plate.
Well, I mean, everything that I've come across, uh, especially people who talk about recommendations, are that the textured PEI plates, though they're very good for um, uh, they're good for like cleaning, and PETG doesn't get as stuck to them as it does like the flat plates or whatever. But
Mhm.
flat plates in general have better tackiness because they have more surface area that comes into contact with the model. So you add that to the fact that for whatever reason, that whatever technology has gone into this cool tack plate, okay, um, the everything adheres to it like it's vacuum sealed, and then when you go to pop it off, it legitimately just pops right off. All the Mario pieces that I did them in individual colors rather than try to squeeze them all onto uh, a single plate. Some of them were super small parts, and just flexing the plate, all you had was pop, 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 pop. Everything just popped right off. Unreal.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I can't recommend that thing high enough, honestly.
It'll be my last upgrade that I buy for my printer. Well, I do, I still have I do use a hardened steel nozzle on it though. So
Yeah.
I guess really, yeah, hardened steel nozzle and then that plastic repellent paint
Yes.
stuff
Yes.
that I put on there.
My new friend.
Yeah. And I haven't put it on the brass nozzle yet, but I haven't put the brass nozzle back in the machine because I figured why bother? I've just been using the hardened steel one. Even though I just do PLA and silk PLA, it was just to me, it was like, well, I already swapped this one in, and I will say also, I feel like just anecdotally, the hardened steel nozzle didn't have as much problem with waste material sticking to it as the brass one did.
Yeah.
Because even just swapping the nozzle, it didn't completely eliminate. I would get the little like small blobs on there that would kind of get pulled around.
hmm
But I think it happened a lot less even before I put that plastic repellent paint on there. I'm pretty sure just switching nozzle types did help. So I just have the brass one as like a backup. It's just an extra one.
Well,
You
I
know.
mean, once you get your carbon, you know you're going to be moving on to other materials. It's too tempting not to, because
Yeah.
it can do most of the heavier stuff. Um,
Yep.
and I haven't tried any of the heavier stuff in that one yet, but it's coming. Okay, I
Mhm.
ordered some, or I haven't ordered it yet, but it's in my cart. Some of the what was it, steel reinforced carbon fiber, something like that. Some like totally exotic, you know, if it wasn't on sale, I would never buy it. Kind of filament.
Yeah.
Um, and it's got a stupid good deal right now, so I may get one roll of it just to try it. But I'm hoping it's still on sale when I get paid on Wednesday, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to get it. But um, I am curious to see how it handles some of the other stuff, because like the Cheaty, I haven't had like a bunch of failures with it using other materials up until the point when I got home from work and the whole head had completely disassembled because I had a freaking softball of plastic, you know, gummed
Yeah.
up around it. I should have filmed my reaction to that because uh, I know I was over the top. I had to have been.
I mean, it looks bad because I remember the one time that my mini did that. It looks like it has broken your printer. Yeah, it's pretty scary to like come in there and see just all that stuff mounted underneath, and it sounds bad too because I caught mine because I heard it in the other room because it was just like scraping stuff against the build plate, as it kind of moved around.
Yeah.
Because it never. my stupid detection for that or whatever just doesn't seem to work. So
Oh my god,
it was
the
just trying to go.
it looked like a cancerous tumor that just grew too big too fast. You know?
Yeah,
Oh my god. And then when I removed the silicone sock, there was so much of the plastic that had pushed itself in between the hot end and the silicone. Uh
yeah,
I was so, and the fact I couldn't just order another hot end from Cheedy, I was so angry and frustrated. I should have
yeah. I
just had
bet.
a room camera going, because it was legitimately like the father in Christmas Story in the background when Ralph is describing stuff, and you just hear right, frightened, fucking, freaking pickle Pfeiffer,
Yeah,
and just oh my god, I was so angry.
I bet.
Oh my
That's
god,
super frustrating too. Yeah, it's just like you need it, but they just won't give it to you.
no,
They just
I,
won't sell it to you.
and then
Uh,
like I finally figure out a way to get it, and it's almost doubling the price just to ship it. Are you out of your mind? Like,
yeah,
oh my god.
it's even worse than my CPU debacle when I wanted to send my CPU back because they didn't give me a proper shipping window. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, just wait till you get it. You can send it back." And then I see in the email they send me back that it's like a 40% restocking fee if I do.
40%
And I was like,
restocking fee?
"Yeah, they wanted to charge me 40% to restock
Oh my
because it was
god.
right. It was right when the 5600 launched, and they had them on Newegg for like $10 less than Amazon. So I was like, I'll do it on Newegg. But they must have run out, and they sold out from what they had already in California.
Okay.
So they shipped it from China.
Oh god.
But they didn't. I had already put the order in, and then I got an email that updated me that told me that my shipping window was delayed because it was supposed to be there within like 4 business days.
Mm.
And then it was like, oh, now it's 6 weeks shipping from China, and it was like, well, then cancel. But because they had already issued it from the point of origin, like it was already in the mail system in China,
Mhm.
so they wouldn't let me cancel it. And then yeah, to return it, it was like I could return it, but I would have to pay the return shipping, and then also there was a 40% restock fee on it.
Wow. Wow.
So I kept it. Yeah. It's my wife's now. She's using it, so it
It
is getting used.
it's her problem. Out of curiosity, what do you use to glue stuff together?
I use some super glue, like CA glue that I found online. It's in here somewhere. Yeah. I know I bought a couple bottles of it. It's like right over here. All right. I lied. The bottle's not in here anymore.
I was curious because I've been using, and this is not sponsored by the way. I've been using this Gorilla Glue gel, okay, which is really easy to control, and it does seem to have good hold on it. But I went through almost 2 bottles of this on that White Star by itself because it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot in here. Okay.
Yes. That was my problem with it because that was what I started with. First two was Gorilla Glue gel.
I mean, I love the control on it. I never get any on my fingers, and if any squeezes out, I can always just grab it with the lid and then just reapply it somewhere else. But like, it does not go very far.
Yeah,
Uh,
it doesn't. That was the big reason. I think for about the same price that I paid for one of the smaller, like I do have I had this stuff, and it is Gorilla Glue. It's probably not the exact same one that you have, but that
uh,
was what I started using first. But yeah, it's only
Similar. It might be the same
half
one,
an
just a
ounce.
different bottle.
It could be. Yeah, it's only half an ounce in this bottle, which sucks. But it's like I got for the same price I paid for that at like Walmart. I got two larger bottles of CA glue. I don't remember what brand it is. Uh, but it's medium thickness is what I got. It's not as thick as the gel, but it still does have.
On top of your Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so much red in skin tone
Mm-hmm.
that it would just completely eliminate. And then I think it was exacerbated by the fact that my red was so unsaturated all the time because
Well,
it just
you definitely need to reduce your exacerbation throughout the week.
and
Oh,
this again is
all white,
it's
all white.
the old red and the old white, so yeah,
Yeah,
it really washes them out.
yeah.
And then we compare that to the
Oh
new
my! Look at
colors.
Kiefer Sutherland. Look at the difference.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
that the girl that's leaning against him is like
Uh,
she goes from looking like a
okay.
plastic doll
First of all,
to a
that is
person.
Jamie Gertz. That is not that girl.
Gee,
Okay.
great.
Okay.
So those ones, because I printed that one out and I was like, okay, I need to do something about this. I think that was the one. It was either that one or Sin City here.
wait, before you
Right.
show Sin City, okay,
Okay.
I want to make like a small shout out, by the way, to someone that we both obscurely kind of know for almost 4 years now. Kat, over this last week, had her 18th birthday.
Oh wow.
Can you believe she's freaking 18? Bro, when she started watching the stream, she was 14 years old. Oh my god. She just messaged me today that she got back from her cruise for her birthday. I was like, oh my god, that's
cool.
crazy. I mean,
Yeah,
first of all, I didn't think she would live to see 18 with the way she lives in Australia. Every time I hear from her, she's got some weird injury or she's encountered some like deadly beast or something that lives like right outside her house. But
right, it's a dangerous place.
yeah, I mean, I was so thrilled, for her because she was so excited. In Australia, I guess that's the legal drinking age, so she's already started.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So she was excited about that. But I just want to wish her a happy birthday because she's been the loyal viewer for my stream the entire time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, happy 18th, Kat.
Yeah, crazy. All right, go ahead.
Glad you made it. Oh yeah. So Sin City, I think, was where I finally pulled the trigger, and I was like, even though I have a bunch of red left, I need a new red.
Wow,
because
that's dark.
It's just so disappointing. Like it just did not come out, and yeah, new red.
Yeah.
Obviously, now you can read what it says.
Yeah, nice and bright.
Have little splashes in the back. So it's like it's so weird that they're, I did no settings changes on these. These are identical settings and all that stuff. It is just the transmission distance differences between those two colors that really do all this. And also, for my dad, Hunt for Red October, man. I mean, I knew I needed the new red for this one too, just because it's just red. And it's still like it doesn't come out, in the old one. It was well, there's no red.
Okay, if you're going to do Hunt for Red October, please tell me you did a Crimson Tide one to follow it up. Please.
No, I didn't do Crimson Tide.
Oh, come on. I mean, how do you show one without the other?
Because I got to have different ones. I think for his, I settled on I'm going to do 9. And then for the wife, I think I'm going to do like a 6 or something. Because I still have to plan out how I want to do the patterning too. And also the one that I didn't, this is the only one where I think the red maybe was better with the weaker red, is the Indiana Jones one, because it turns out to look more brown with the weaker red.
Yeah. But I do like the letter contrast on the on that other one.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking this one might work better in this guy. He doesn't look as bland.
Right.
Probably because there's almost equal reds and yellows in there. And both of my red and yellow have like the same kind of transparency.
That makes a lot of sense.
Might have just sort of equaled itself out, Mm-hmm. Whereas everything else I think needed more red.
Mm.
But the red that I had was just, it wasn't doing it. And then this I think is the biggest difference. Is I did this for the wife.
She-Ra. Oh my god. Okay.
But again, the white's pretty overpowering. There's a lot of it in there.
The the frosting that you put on like Christmas trees?
Yeah.
Flocking. It looks like you flocked the picture. It's so thick.
And then this is huge difference. with this one.
Oh wow, yeah, night and day. Wow.
I mean, she looks like a person. She's got blonde hair now, you know,
Uh,
and all this like the stuff, the energy beam or whatever that's around her. It
Prin-
wasn't supposed to be solid white.
what was her name?
It's
Princess
supposed to have.
Adenia.
I don't remember.
My sister watched that when I was a kid. I'm trying to remember her name. I was always
I
on the
was
He-Man side. I don't know.
Yeah. I was just like so because in the picture it's like all this energy stuff around was supposed to have a very like golden hue to it, but
Okay.
it didn't come off at all in the other one.
No.
It was so much white. But yeah, those are the massive amount of difference it takes. I didn't even pick. I almost went really far and got a lava red matte because I was wanting something a lot more red.
Yeah.
But then the wife was just like, well, she's like, the Overture one looks brighter. Let's just try Overture Red. So I was like, all right. And we picked that one. And then I wasn't going to buy another Sunloose spool because, I have issues with their
Okay.
their
You don't
stupid
no,
windings.
you don't have to tell me about Sunlu, okay? You know how much I hate that one.
Because I wasn't going to get theirs. I was going to go with somebody else. I think I was just going to try eSun or something. But my wife placed the order before I got home for the white spool. So she was like, well, we know that one blended. And I was like, yeah, but still.
Did you
And then
have
I also printed out my own
Oh, yeah,
copy of our little podcast sign.
oh, yeah, got the logo. There it is.
Yay! Mine doesn't have the cool hologram shimmery effect, but I still like it.
What was I going to say? Oh, did you see the deal that Elegoo was having on their PLA this week?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I knew they were doing a giveaway of some sort.
Well, yeah, they were doing a giveaway, which I mean, I answered, but I have no anticipation of winning. But they were actually doing $100 for 10 spools of filament.
Oh wow!
And you can see the Centauri. No, actually, that's the bamboo in the back. I got the Centauri carbon off to the right here. But the filament from the Centauri carbon is so. It comes out so fantastic. Maybe just because they have their settings dialed in. I don't know, but it prints out so perfectly every single time. I just thought I'd mention because I don't know if the deal's still going, but if it is and it's something you might be interested in, it is a fantastic. I mean, getting $10 for high quality filament is that's the whole reason I bought the Sunloose stuff to start with, is because it was that price when I went to buy it.
Yeah,
And that stuff is nowhere near the same quality that I'm getting from the Elegoo stuff. But I just thought I'd mention. So do you have anything else? Anything else?
that is all my prints for this time.
All right. So before I get into my prints, I'm going to talk about some of the fun little issues that I was having this week, some of which have not yet been resolved. Okay. First of all, the brass nozzle on my Bamboo printer just started shredding the filament. Okay, and I had been watching videos and people talking about how they didn't understand why some of the more name brand companies are still sending out brass nozzles because they wear down so quickly. And I hadn't experienced it with this. I wasn't sure how long it takes or whatever, but it just started shredding everything. I couldn't put a single print together on this printer. So I ordered hardened steel nozzles in all 4 sizes. And right now I have the 0.4 on, which is the same size of the brass one I had on. And it's printing beautiful. I mean, I have not had a failure since I put the hardened steel nozzle on. So that was one. Okay. And the same day that stopped working, the Cheaty, it had like this massive, like in between, about tennis ball size glob of filament stuck to the head of it, and I was able to get it off, and I spent a few days cleaning the head, but I'm not comfortable putting it back on, and I just got some new silicone socks to replace the one that I had to cut off in order to get to the stuff. So I decided what I was going to do was order a new hot end for the Cheaty, just so I could take my time, clean this one, and have a backup.
Yeah.
Problem. Cheaty's not shipping to the United States right now because of tariffs. Okay. And I couldn't find the hot end on Amazon. I mean, granted, if I had the what's it called, the +3, then I could have ordered it, no problem. But the +4 could not find the hot end anywhere. And I was in contact with Cheaty, and I'm like, look, I really need this. Can I order it from one of the other distributors? Because the US one was marked off, and I think Germany was marked off too. Germany was just out of stock. So I tried Canada. Canada had it in stock, but they wouldn't ship from Canada. They refused. They wouldn't even process the order. Then I tried Japan. Would not process the order. Then I tried from Australia. Would not process the order. Then I tried from China, which was the last choice, was to try from China. It's a $44 hot end for that printer. They wanted to charge $30 shipping to cover the tariffs. Okay? $30 for a $44 part. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go back to Amazon and I'm just going to pray maybe someone's selling a used one or something. And I came across one. And it's listed as new. Okay. And it's supposed to arrive, I think, sometime next week. But it was still $44, but it was free shipping because it was on Amazon. And I didn't have to pay $30 to ship a $44 part that is only about this big. You know? Like, okay. Yep. So my Cheaty's been down almost the entire time since we last spoke. And I refuse to put the other hot end in until I get all the plastic off. Right now, I have 2 bits of plastic that are stuck near the lead wire that runs directly into the extruder. So I don't want to just use a heat gun to try and melt it because I don't want to melt the wire. That's going to be some delicate surgery somehow. Maybe I'll use like a soldering gun or something to gently kind of scrape it away. But I want to take my time with it. I bought some of your plastic repellent that you recommended. Okay, so that's going to be a weekly treatment on that hot end to make sure this doesn't happen again. Especially because that's the one that I use the experimental filaments on, you know? So I've used TPU, PUTG. I just got some polycarbonate that I'm going to try, but I refuse to do anything until that other hot end arrives. I'm not messing with it. I'm not touching anything. Just, it's not in my nature, but I'm going to be patient. Okay. So those were my like big problems that I had. So, I'm going to start showing some of my prints. There ended up being a theme towards the end, which you'll understand, but it doesn't show up just yet. Okay? First one, and I'm super jacked about this one. Vaderbud said to me that he wanted a wingman, okay, from Apex. And of course, I found tons of wingmen on Maker World. But then I found this wingman. Okay. The Death Ray, which is my favorite wingman in the game. So I went ahead and printed that. And it came out absolutely gorgeous. Very excited about that. Let's see. I printed out a couple of these, the art with the, slats running through it. This Daredevil one, I just love the face he was making. Okay, it almost looks like he's healing from being slashed or something, or being run through a wood chipper. Who knows? But I really like the contrast on this. They had it on a yellow background. I changed it to blue because I didn't like the way the yellow looked. I thought that blue would be a much better, like with the red and the white contrast for it. So then I'm not sure why, but I came across a puzzle. But it's like a preschool puzzle of Mario. Okay. I decided I had to print it. Each individual color is a piece. Okay. So they all just snap in place. All right. Nice. It's nice and thick. Okay. Beautiful contrast. Printed out great. Okay. Absolutely love that print. I almost forgot.
So topical with the Switch 2 announcement. Look at you.
You know me. Okay, another Apex find. Okay, that
Oh, okay.
Bangalore's heirloom. All right,
Hmm.
and printed up really nice. A little bit bigger than I anticipated it being, but it feels really good. And I actually did the base, the pummel, in purple. I feel like I should have done one of the other sections in like acid green, maybe just to make it. Maybe the blade I should have done in acid green, but I'll paint it that way later. So,
Hmm.
all right. Then let's see. This was the first piece that I painted this week. Okay, Stormtrooper made it look like a little gritty. He's seen some action. Okay,
Hmm.
and oh, this is where you're gonna start seeing a little bit of the theming come into it. Okay, got Millennium Falcon. Okay, did some
Very
airbrush
nice.
work on it to make it look like it's the piece of junk everyone always describes it as.
Yep.
I still need to paint. I'm gonna paint the back for where the plasma exhaust is. I'm gonna do that in like a super bright blue, maybe with a white line going down the middle or something. Um, so since I did that, one thing I've always wanted to print but never had actually followed through was doing Han Solo in carbonite. So I did that, and I printed the whole thing in actually this dark navy blue, but
Hmm.
I actually used a silver paint on Han Solo himself. Okay. And okay, lights up.
Very nice.
Okay. So that is actually gorgeous. I'm going to be putting this on display somewhere. Um, for some reason, so that was an issue finding a light that's the right size for this thing. Um,
Mhm.
and I finally did find some lights that were the right size. But the big problem is the cord is like a combined 12 feet long. Okay, between the wire running from the actual little lamp to the physical DC plug itself, there's multiple connectors. You can actually plug four of these little lamps into the hub that this is plugged into. I think that's why it has the overall distance that it has, so they can be separated. So I need to find
Yeah.
other lamps similar to this. Um, but essentially, it's a super long cord. Okay, and typically I like long cords, but this thing is really cumbersome to move from place to
Yeah.
place because there's a lot of wiring attached to this thing.
Just so much.
All right, so we saw the Millennium Falcon. For one of my students, I printed. Um, it's not. I haven't glued it together yet, but this is the top part of Invincible's mask. Okay,
Oh, okay.
and there's a couple of like the sideburn pieces that are going to attach with magnets. Okay, and later on tonight, after the bamboo's done printing, I'm going to print out the eye sockets for that. So that'll be ready by morning, I would imagine. Um, but okay, when I was a kid, I loved Battlestar Galactica. Okay, the original Battlestar. I never watched the reboot. Okay,
Yeah.
and I always wanted a Colonial Viper as a toy when I was growing up. Never had one until now. Okay, got myself a
Very
Colonial
nice.
Viper. Okay, painted the whole thing, made it look like it's seen some action.
As they
Absolutely
always
love
do.
this. Okay, I need to find a Cylon ship to go with it. That will be exciting if I can.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. This is the one I told you a few weeks ago I have been working on, and it's the biggest thing I've ever printed. Painting it was something else. Okay, but my all-time favorite sci-fi show is Babylon 5, and they introduced an amazing grouping of starships. One of them is called a White Star. Okay, and that's what this is.
Yes.
Okay. This is actually tricolor paint. So I'm going to try and get the shimmer in the light. Okay. It's like a
Very cool.
purple, green, and gold combo. It's not really
Mhm.
showing on the camera as much as I would have liked, but in person, the shimmer is absolutely fantastic. And tried to paint it in almost a camouflage kind of finish.
Yeah.
Because this was white. All right. And then I painted it in a light gray just to give it a little bit of depth to it because I didn't think that if I painted it and the white would just show through. Okay, if I just
Yeah.
painted this on it. So then I covered it in the tricolor paint, and I am not unhappy with the finish. I think it came out really nice.
Yeah. It
Um,
does look really nice.
so, and this thing is okay. It printed out in like I think it was like 15 pieces total. Okay, it is 2 feet long. Okay, great heft to it, and it just looks so I was so excited when I saw it finished. And like my dad's birthday is next week, and my brother's like, "Oh, you're gonna give that to him for his birthday?" And I wasn't, but now I kind of feel like I have to. uh, and I'm thinking maybe I will, and I'll print myself another one. But for mine, I'll run LED lights through it so it actually lights up in a bunch of different places because there are hollow channels inside specifically for running LEDs. So I may go ahead and do that, and I'll give myself the nicer one. You know.
Yeah, you have the tricked out one.
All right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so that covers all of yeah, that covers everything that I did this past week. Now, granted, I only have 2 printers up and running, so um, the first thing once I get the new hot end in is I'm going to have the Cheaty print a full size TPU basketball. The TPU is sitting back there waiting. I haven't figured out what I'm going to use the polycarbonate for yet, but I want to. I need to find something that I want to be sturdy. I don't know if it's going to be a face mask or if it's going to be something, but I'm going to try it. I need to print something that's going to be sturdy. Otherwise, I mean, why are you going to print in polycarbonate? I have no idea. But um, so moving on from our prints and moving on from my issues with the printer, since we last spoke, Bamboo actually released a brand new printer, and not just a printer. They released this. I'm not sure if I want to classify this as something people were really clamoring for, or I mean I'm not even sure how to properly like word it because it is a bigger build plate, which is something that everyone who owns a
Yeah.
Bamboo has been saying that they want. They wanted a bigger build plate,
Yeah.
and it's designed a lot like the Carbon, okay, and it's geared to be a pro consumer product. Like
Mhm.
it's not so expensive that the everyday printer couldn't get one, but at the same time, it's got all the quality aspects of a commercial printer, which is why I bought the Cheaty because that's what it offers, and
Yeah.
um and this one actually has a bigger build plate than the Cheaty. Okay, so I mean that's kind of cool, but the fact that they went the path of incorporating in a laser cutter slash engraver and a crit cut style multi material cutter,
Yeah.
I was a little like, huh, I don't know. I,
Yeah. Same here. It was. Those are things that are cool, I think, on their own. I don't know that I would necessarily thought that it was a great idea to make an all-in-one kind of machine set. And then also with the dual nozzle printer, which seemed like a weird,
actually,
almost like a halfway point because Prusa has that cool like tool changing one. I think maybe that was sort of an inspiration for that, and they're like, well, we don't want to do some like massively expensive 5-head changer. But what if we did a dual nozzle?
I do kind of like the dual nozzle for one reason only. Um, if you are printing in PETG, and you want to use PLA supports, this is the best way to
Mhm.
do it. Um,
Oh, that's true.
Okay, because you don't that way you don't run multi materials through the same hot end and risk clogging and all that other stuff. So from that aspect, I totally get it, because if you're using materials that either don't bond at all or they bond really well and you don't want them bonding in your single hot end, okay, like TPU and PETG, like if you wanted to do something that combines the two of them,
Mhm.
because they bond very well, and you probably would not want them in the same hot end at the same time, because that could lead to a massive clog also. So
Yeah.
from that perspective, I totally get the two head thing. The only issue that I'm running into is it's practically impossible to run all of the different filament colors and styles that they're talking about, that you can run through this machine and maintain multi-material, because PETG, though it's a great material, doesn't come in nearly as many colors as PLA does, and
Yeah.
or as many options as PLA does, for that matter. And so, like, it's not like you could keep the exact same colors of PETG that you're going to keep of PLA and just run them at the same time so that you can continuously, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it in any other way. Uh, and if you wanted to do the full 25 color mixture that's available to you, okay, which is kind of cool that you can do up to 25 colors, but at the same time, holy hell, 25 colors? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, I guess you're more likely to have a lot more variety if you're buying something at that price. But
Right.
still, it seems like a lot.
Yeah.
And it was, I honestly, I started watching a review of one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and then I told myself I was going to go back and watch it just so that I would know the details. But I started watching it, and then I got curious, and I just scrolled down to the affiliate link and clicked on it, and I saw
Oh,
the price, and I was like, "Well, I'm never going to buy this,"
yeah. No, I mean,
and I didn't watch it.
I mean, I will never buy it at that price. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
it's expensive.
the AMS unit, I might purchase one because I do like the filament warming system that's in it.
Yeah,
uh, but at the same time, like, I mean, I've got it pulled up right now. I'm looking at it, and the base model is $1,900. That doesn't even include AMS. It doesn't include the laser. It doesn't include the multi-material cutter. It just that's the base one. So all it will do is print with two different heads. Okay, so
yep,
right now you got two colors available to you. That for $1,900. Are you
yeah,
out of your freaking mind? Okay. Um, I mean, that's more expensive than the Prusa at that point.
yeah.
You know,
It's. I felt like it was a strange contrast, sort of, that we got with Elegoo making the decision that their new printer was going to be really budget oriented, right? It was going to kind of really compete with them on price for a lot of the same features, which they don't have their multi material yet. But it
um,
is Elegoo. I don't
I,
feel like they're just going to abandon it or run out of money.
there's an announcement coming on the 8th. Okay,
Oh,
there's an
yeah.
announcement coming on the 8th, and I could be wrong, and I probably am wrong, but I could. It's very possible they're going to announce yet another printer and introduce the multi-material. Is what is my thought.
Huh, that would be cool.
Um,
I'm gonna wait that one. But yeah,
because
because I had looked into getting one of those Cricut printers for or cutters for a
yeah,
while.
yeah, they're cool.
Um, and I do have one. My wife found one at a garage sale, but I do not think I can use it the way you would a normal one.
Hmm.
Um, Granted, she only paid $20 for it, so it was pretty good. But I think it is a model that is locked to only being able to use pre-made cartridges that contain patterns on them.
Oh.
So instead of doing it through your computer software, it's like you buy a cartridge that you plug into it, and then it has patterns on it, and you can pick from there. So you wouldn't be able to do anything custom if that's the case. So I have to kind of dig it out and go look up some more documentation on it and stuff. But I think we may have got unlucky with that, and we got a super weird locked down one instead of the standard ones.
I mean,
but I'll look into that. But yeah, I was like, it's cool that it kind of combines these other tools into itself. But also at the same time, it's like how many people that are in the market for a 3D printer also want to have a laser engraver and a vinyl cutter and all that other stuff. Like, I just don't know if there's that much overlap,
I can
especially for the price.
I can think of one person, okay, and unfortunately, NerdForge already has all of those things individually and does not need an all-in-one, okay. But
That's another good point too, is a lot of people that this would be marketed for probably already have their tools.
I mean, if you told me that all three came for $1,900 and included at least one of the AMS2s, I might consider it, you know.
Yeah.
But when you tell me that the thing is going to be $3,000, once you start, I mean, once you've added stuff, it's like, dude, seriously, we need to talk because, I mean, that is insanity. Now, I did watch I've watched 7 different reviews of this machine. Okay, particular focus on the 3D printing nerd because I watch a lot of his videos. Loyal Moses and Frankly Built. Okay, they were the first ones that I watched the videos for. And 3D printing nerd, the guy is not the world's greatest YouTube presenter. Okay, I mean, he's a geek. That's all there is to it. You know. So some of his stuff, it's more about how excited he is than it is about the information. But he threw out some really good info that I hadn't seen in anyone else's video, and that is with the dual head. Okay, it's a 350 side to side millimeters that you have. Okay, on the y axis, or no, x axis. You have 350, but because there's 2 heads, each head can't go further than 325 in either direction. Okay, so he actually had loaded up the identical filaments on both sides. Okay, cut his print in half and had the printer do a full 350, doing 175 and 175, okay, from each head, but on the same print.
Huh.
Okay, absolutely brilliant tip. Okay, and it was in the first video, which normally I'd expect someone, they've been using it for a year, maybe they come up with something crazy like that.
Yeah, it takes some time to figure it out.
I was super impressed. I don't often say that about his videos. Okay, I do enjoy his videos because he's very passionate about 3D printing. I am very passionate about 3D printing, so I appreciate his approach. Having said that, that tip, I have not heard anyone else even remotely discuss that being a possibility. Everyone that's talked about the limitations of this machine says, well, each nozzle can only do 325 in either direction because it has to make room for the other head. And like, I was blown away that he did that in the very first video, that he was able to figure that out. Applause, because that was a great tip. But I mean, as there wasn't a single person who did reviews on this that was like, this is exactly what people have been wanting, or this is even close to it. Most people, when they compared the printing to the Carbon or even the P1S, where they weren't happy with the prints. They're like, oh, these are good prints, but I'm not sure that they're even better than what came out 2 years ago with the P1S and the X1 Carbon. And that's kind of disappointing to hear that they haven't done something to improve it. But where they have made improvements is on the slicer. Okay, the Bamboo Studio slicer is bomb right now. Okay, it has so many new features to it, so many things I said to myself, like, man, it'd be cool if it kind of told me this, or if it gave me this info, or if I could do this. And I haven't even discovered like even half of what it can do. And I have found a lot of things I wanted to make, either little tweaks or little adjustments, so much easier, because I'm not the biggest student of this software. And like, I just want it to work. I want to get my prints out. And if I want to make changes, I want the changes to be accessible changes, not something where I have to go and relearn how to do something in order to make it happen. And
Yeah.
I have to say that a lot of the stuff they've added uh, is, you know, just on point and absolutely fantastic. And Elegoo already started incorporating some of the stuff that Bamboo had put into the new update. They just put into theirs also. It's almost like someone sat there and went, "Oh, I really like that. Okay, we're totally going to put that in." Because it showed
Yeah.
up maybe 2 days later, and it's doing a lot of the same stuff. Uh, Pricing estimates on how much filament that you're using, absolutely fantastic. Um, the Some of the recommendations on how to save on color changes, absolutely fantastic. Okay, I'm a huge fan of it. Um, what else? Let me see. The It actually slices faster than it did before. But like if you want to paint sections now, it's more precise on, I guess it depends on how the model was, actually created, but it's a little more precise on allowing color changes and things like that. And when you're trying to paint individual pieces versus, just changing the filament colors and stuff like that,
Mhm.
which is really helpful for me. Um, and they made an upgrade I thought was surprisingly good was they made, instead of having when you want to put in supports, for a while, or all the slicers I've used, whether it's Cheaty, um, Elegoo, or even Bamboo, the default supports were the generic supports, those like slim wall supports that are always in the way and very difficult to remove. And
Yep.
so I typically end up switching over to tree, either organic or hybrid or something like that. Um,
Mhm.
they have made tree supports now the default on the Bamboo slicer versus having to switch to it, which I love. Okay. Just not having to take that extra step, unless I want to change the type of tree supports. But the simple fact that tree supports are now the standard rather than an option, I am a huge fan of. And I love that they did that. Um,
Thanks.
so, I mean, in general, I like a lot of the stuff they've done. I don't. I'm not in love with this new printer. uh, I don't know. I am in love with my Elegoo printer. Okay, it's a shame it has the same build plate that the Bamboo does, but um, it does everything super fast. Um, every time it finishes a print, it actually asks, "You want me to just reprint that, or do you want to do a new print?" It asks that every single time. And right now, I'm printing up Easter bunnies for my students, so I'm one button reprinting whole plates of Easter bunnies now, on the Elegoo, just tray after tray after tray. It's super easy,
Oh yeah.
so fantastic. The only problem with the Elegoo is it doesn't have a phone app, for some strange reason.
Oh yeah.
Okay, don't know why they don't have it, uh, but um, maybe by the time you pick up yours, they'll have it. Okay, it would be great if I could, um, actually, when a print is done, uh, you know, do one of those automation things where it pushes everything off the build plate and just starts a new
Oh
one.
yeah.
Um, oh, build plate. I'm all over the place tonight. Okay. I bought the Cool Tack build plate for Bamboo.
Okay.
Greatest thing ever.
Oh
Greatest
nice.
build plate ever. Okay. Now you don't get the sparkly transfer, okay, that you get off, that other build plate that I have.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can grab that build plate the second that it's done printing and it's not even warm. Um, all you have to do, I mean, you do your bends, everything pops right off. I have yet to have anything that didn't stick perfectly. And when I say stick, I
Nice.
mean, while it's printing, there's no wobble. There's no like, oh, I think that thing's going to let go. It has not even come close to failing. And because of that, uh, in the slicer, it knows I'm using the Cool Tack plate, so
Mhm.
it puts less supports on most of the stuff when it automates the supports.
Okay.
Mind blowing. Okay, it's saving material, it's saving time on prints. It's awesome, absolutely awesome.
I think that means I'm gonna buy one then. I think
I
because I've been heavily considering it. I was like, maybe I should just pull the trigger on that and try a completely different. Because I bought a replacement build plate, for mine a while back, but
Mhm.
I still went textured PEI,
Mhm.
because I was still super new to this. It was like within the first couple of months that I had the printer, so I was like, well, maybe this plate is just like a little bit wonky. But yeah, then I was like, maybe I'll try that one, but I haven't bought it yet. I think that might be my next purchase for the printer is just going to be that plate.
Well, I mean, everything that I've come across, uh, especially people who talk about recommendations, are that the textured PEI plates, though they're very good for um, uh, they're good for like cleaning, and PETG doesn't get as stuck to them as it does like the flat plates or whatever. But
Mhm.
flat plates in general have better tackiness because they have more surface area that comes into contact with the model. So you add that to the fact that for whatever reason, that whatever technology has gone into this cool tack plate, okay, um, the everything adheres to it like it's vacuum sealed, and then when you go to pop it off, it legitimately just pops right off. All the Mario pieces that I did them in individual colors rather than try to squeeze them all onto a single plate. Some of them were super small parts, and just flexing the plate, all you had was pop, 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 pop. Everything just popped right off. Unreal.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I can't recommend that thing high enough, honestly.
It'll be my last upgrade that I buy for my printer. Well, I still have I do use a hardened steel nozzle on it though. So
Yeah.
I guess really, yeah, hardened steel nozzle and then that plastic repellent paint
Yes.
stuff
Yes.
that I put on there.
My new friend.
Yeah. And I haven't put it on the brass nozzle yet, but I haven't put the brass nozzle back in the machine because I figured why bother? I've just been using the hardened steel one. Even though I just do PLA and silk PLA, it was just to me, it was like, well, I already swapped this one in, and I will say also, I feel like just anecdotally, the hardened steel nozzle didn't have as much problem with waste material sticking to it as the brass one did.
Yeah.
Because even just swapping the nozzle, it didn't completely eliminate when I would get the little like small blobs on there that would kind of get pulled around.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it happened a lot less even before I put that plastic repellent paint on there. I'm pretty sure just switching nozzle types did help. So I just have the brass one as like a backup. It's just an extra one.
Well,
You
I
know.
mean, once you get your carbon, you know you're going to be moving on to other materials. It's too tempting not to, because
Yeah.
it can do most of the heavier stuff. Um,
Yep.
and I haven't tried any of the heavier stuff in that one yet, but it's coming. Okay, I
Mhm.
ordered some, or I haven't ordered it yet, but it's in my cart. Some of the what was it, steel reinforced carbon fiber, something like that. Some like totally exotic, you know, if it wasn't on sale, I would never buy it. Kind of filament.
Yeah.
Um, and it's got a stupid good deal right now, so I may get one roll of it just to try it. But I'm hoping it's still on sale when I get paid on Wednesday, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to get it. But um, I am curious to see how it handles some of the other stuff, because like the Cheaty, I haven't had like a bunch of failures with it using other materials up until the point when I got home from work and the whole head had completely disassembled because I had a freaking softball of plastic, you know, gummed up
Yeah.
around it. I should have filmed my reaction to that because uh, I know I was over the top. I had to have been.
I mean, it looks bad because I remember the one time that my mini did that. It looks like it has broken your printer. Yeah, it's pretty scary to like come in there and see just all that stuff mounted underneath, and it sounds bad too because I caught mine because I heard it in the other room because it was just like scraping stuff against the build plate, as it kind of moved around.
Yeah.
because it never, my stupid detection for that or whatever just doesn't seem to work. So
Oh my god,
it was
the
just trying to go.
it looked like a cancerous tumor that just grew too big too fast. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then when I removed the silicone sock, there was so much of the plastic that had pushed itself in between the hot end and the silicone. Uh
Yeah.
I was so, and the fact I couldn't just order another hot end from Cheedy, I was so angry and frustrated. I should have
Yeah, I
just had
bet.
a room camera going, because it was legitimately like the father in Christmas Story in the background when Ralph is describing stuff, and you just hear right, frickin' fucking freaking pickle Pfeiffer,
Yeah,
and just oh my god, I was so angry.
I bet.
Oh my
That's
god,
super frustrating too. Yeah, it's just like you need it, but they just won't give it to you.
no,
They just won't sell it to you.
and then
Uh,
like I finally figure out a way to get it, and it's almost doubling the price just to ship it. Are you out of your mind? Like,
yeah,
oh my god.
it's even worse than my CPU debacle when I wanted to send my CPU back because they didn't give me a proper shipping window. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, just wait till you get it. You can send it back." And then I see in the email they send me back that it's like a 40% restocking fee if I do.
40%
And I was like,
restocking fee?
"Yeah, they wanted to charge me 40% to restock
Oh my
because it was
god.
right. It was right when the 5600 launched, and they had them on Newegg for like $10 less than Amazon. So I was like, I'll do it on Newegg. But they must have run out, and they sold out from what they had already in California.
Okay.
So they shipped it from China,
Oh god.
but they didn't. I had already put the order in, and then I got an email that updated me that told me that my shipping window was delayed because it was supposed to be there within like 4 business days.
Mm.
And then it was like, oh, now it's 6 weeks shipping from China. And it was like, well, then cancel. But because they had already issued it from the point of origin, like it was already in the mail system in China,
Mm-hmm.
so they wouldn't let me cancel it. And then, yeah, to return it, it was like I could return it, but I would have to pay the return shipping. And then also there was a 40% restock fee on it.
Wow. Wow.
So I kept it. Yeah. It's my wife's now. She's using it. So it
It
is getting used.
it's her problem. Out of curiosity, what do you use to glue stuff together?
I use some super glue, like CA glue that I found online. It's in here somewhere. I know I bought a couple bottles of it. It's like right over here. All right. I lied. The bottle's not in here anymore.
I was curious because I've been using, and this is not sponsored by the way. I've been using this Gorilla Glue gel, okay, which is really easy to control, and it does seem to have good hold on it. But I went through almost 2 bottles of this on that White Star by itself because it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot in here. Okay.
Yes. That was my problem with it because that was what I started with. First two was Gorilla Glue gel.
I mean, I love the control on it. I never get any on my fingers, and if any squeezes out, I can always just grab it with the lid and then just reapply it somewhere else. But like, it does not go very far.
Yeah, it doesn't. That was the big reason. I think for about the same price that I paid for one of the smaller, like I do have I had this stuff, and it is Gorilla Glue. It's probably not the exact same one that you have, but that was what I started using first. But yeah, it's only
similar. It might be the same
half
one,
an
just a
ounce.
different bottle.
It could be. Yeah, it's only half an ounce in this bottle, which sucks. But it's like I got for the same price I paid for that at like Walmart. I got 2 larger bottles of CA glue. I don't remember what brand it is. But it's medium thickness is what I got. It's not as thick as the gel, but it still does have, it's not super runny like the The stuff you used to just get that would come in like that tiny little tube.
Oh my, yeah, no, that stuff's a nightmare. It gets
Yeah.
everywhere. Next thing you know, your foot has been glued to a tabletop, and you don't even know why your foot
Yeah.
was up there to start with.
Yeah, it's like it's thicker than that stuff, and I think they do have 3 different grades of thicknesses, so I could have gone with something even thicker.
Mhm.
But for the first time around, I just grabbed medium. But it works really good, and I like it a little better than the Gorilla Glue because it tacks sooner, so you don't have to hold it as long.
Yeah,
I
that
think
it
typically I
does.
do about 25 or 30 seconds,
The
and it's
grab on
pretty
this
good.
seems to take a long time.
Yeah, which is it's that either or thing, right? Because it's like on the one hand, it gives you more time to work it if it's something you need to kind of position and finick with. But on the other hand, it's like if you have something you're just gluing together, like when I was gluing together my dad's hammer and stuff, so they have connectors, so they just right into each other, and that's right where it needs to be.
Mhm.
But then it was like I still have to sit there and hold it compressed for that Gorilla Glue to take hold. Otherwise, you let go of it, and then the gap opens a little bit, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But that other stuff it tacks up really quick.
Hmm.
So I think I prefer that quite a bit to the just the regular Gorilla Glue.
All right, that's a good tip. I'm gonna have to try something different because I've been printing larger and larger models,
Yeah.
and I I can't go through glue that fast. I can't.
Well,
I mean, stuff is it's not super expensive, but it's too expensive for it not to go further.
yep. Yeah, that's how I felt about it too. I'll I will get you the Amazon link to the ones that I bought, so
All right,
you can at
that
least see that.
yeah, that sounds good. Let's see. Okay, so another thing I'm super excited about. Um, we are let's see, we are 8 weeks away from the end of my school year. Okay, just
Hmm.
eight weeks away from the end of my school year. Uh, so what I've decided, and I don't know if it's a workable plan, but essentially over the summer, and I may try to get it going like the last few weeks of school. I'm going to advertise in my area to offer up my printers to people who don't want to buy their own 3D printers, but have found stuff that they need 3D printed to actually rent time on my machines so they can order what they want. I'll slice it, tell them how much it'll cost. They'll pay it for it. I'll print it and drop it off to them, or they can pick it up from me, one of the two. That's going to be my business model, I think, over the summer. See if it works out.
Worth a shot.
You know why? Because I still have yet to have a single sale from my Etsy store. I don't know how people sell stuff on Etsy. I don't, because uh, I am offering stuff. I actually switched all of my listings to make me an offer. Okay.
Oh, really?
I mean, I have a price listed, and someone can come back and make a lower offer. Now, the stuff that I'm selling, I know I'm selling it for less than other people who are listing because I've based my price to be lower than what other people are selling it for. And um, I still haven't gotten anyone to pull the trigger. And so I decided, okay, they have a thing where you can say make an offer and put a limit as to how much of an offer you would accept less than what you're selling it for. Um, and I still have yet to anyone pull the trigger. It's kind of disappointing. Um, and I keep getting these ads in Instagram for some of these we have proven products that sell on Amazon and Etsy. Here's a library available to you for $10 a month or something like that. We even handle like all of the creating all the advertising. You just have to put it in your listing or whatever, and that's appealing. But at the same time, I'm just I don't want to pay anyone else for something that's just not going to sell. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, marketplace sales are like I don't know, I see such mixed review kind of stuff with that because there's a lot of people that seem to pull it off right away.
Mm-hmm.
But I almost wonder if there's something that they're doing that most people don't know about? Like, do they have experience on how to make listings that just generate more traffic or something like that? Like, is it experience they're bringing over from some other industry that helps? Because of, like, I know when I was trying to do just even the PC sales and stuff like that, that was pretty rough trying to get through like local market stuff, and navigating eBay for that kind of thing was really complicated. It was actually yeah, the fees and stuff associated with eBay kind of drove me off of there. Um, so I didn't want to put anything up to ship, and I concentrated on local market. But even local market was rough. I know it varies from place to place, but it was like, man, it just seems like it's a shot in the dark. It's like you have all these other people that are, oh yeah, this is super easy to do. You just got to do this, and you'll be good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that was not my experience at all.
Yeah, no, I did not see that.
Yeah,
I've seen no evidence of this.
yeah, I was surprised. I was super surprised at how much, uh, like my old computer I put up. It was very outdated hardware.
Mm-hmm.
That thing got so much attention so quickly. But the one that was using all new components and was a much more performant machine was basically just like a magnet for scammers.
Yeah, I'll bet. I remember when I was repairing. I had my own cell phone repair business for a period of time, and I had someone come in, and he paid for a like this Chinese cell phone that I had, um, with a debit card, and the transaction looked really weird, but it went through, and I wasn't like thrilled with it. I almost canceled the whole thing, but I didn't follow my instincts. I should have. Um, the bank actually ended up rejecting his payment an hour later, and so I ended up being out like $200 on a Chinese cell phone, and this guy knew he was scamming me. Whatever the card was, it sent like a false positive to the bank, and the bank figured it out and rejected it, but they didn't reject it while he was standing in front of me, you know?
Yeah,
But yeah, that was definitely a learning experience.
yeah. Luckily, my scammers were way more transparent. I just got Facebook messages from people in other countries that insisted that they wanted to pay for it so that their brother could come pick it up in person.
Yeah, it is amazing how comfortable people are scamming like smaller people, you know? All you ever hear is, oh, big corporations are evil, this, that, and the other thing. But the people you have to deal with when you're a small business or, even an individual are so much scummier than
Yeah, it
because
seems like it.
like
Yeah.
when I managed a GameStop, I don't think I had a single fraudulent transaction one way or the other. You know,
Huh.
maybe I had one guy give me a fake 20 in like the 2.5 years I was managing. Okay.
Mhm.
In the time when I had my own business, I had people like tell me that they would come back and pay me the next day, but they needed their cell phone today, and then I'd never see them like uh, at the at my location ever again, or that
Yeah.
guy with the phone, or I'd have people who they come in with like business enhancing products that if you uh, they offer like all these different levels of training and customer service and this kind of thing. And the first time you call them, you find out that the number is totally fake, you know?
Mhm.
And I never invested in any of them, but I always found it telling that you couldn't even call them back an hour later because the phone numbers they gave you were all fraudulent. It's like,
Yeah.
it's unreal, man. It's just so many people out there running scams, and they're targeting not the evil corporations, but the smaller people who are dependent on every single transaction.
Yeah, it's a sad state. That's how it be.
So
But also, I thought it was kind of weird too. Like, I don't know, the people that, there are a couple of them that were obviously scamming. They still tried to lowball me. Like, they wouldn't even still offer the purchase price. It was still like they wanted to haggle down a little bit, and then I can pay for it over. I'll Venmo you it or something, and then my brother is gonna come pick it up.
yeah, I love that. And okay, so I watched this one tech YouTuber, Tech Source. Okay, a couple months ago, he started a new series that he's calling Flipper Flop, where he's purchasing pre-owned PC components and building systems and selling them locally. To Now, this guy's he's clearly worth millions of dollars. His house is ridiculous. Okay, but he's like, I'm trying to save up for my daughter's college funds. Like, okay, whatever. It's a theme for his shtick. Okay, he contacts these people in Southern California, and he goes to meet them to buy, these pre-owned components, some of which they're selling for less than you can buy them on Amazon or Newegg or whatever the case is, which is why he wants to buy them from him. And he'll show up in his Cybertruck and then lowball the person after they've already agreed on a price to try and save an extra $10 or $20. Like, seriously? Like, he'll show up and be like, I know we agreed on $150 for this, but will you take $130? And he's sitting there in his, with his Cybertruck and his mobile recording studio with him while he's, recording the transaction. Like, I mean, just wow.
Yeah. Yeah, the flip thing. Yeah, it's like, that's a weird industry. I feel like I got a bunch of offers from people around here that were flippers trying to buy that PC from me. Yeah. I think that's why I got so many low offers.
Oh, definitely.
Because even though it was all new stuff, they just wanted to find something at a deal so that they could either resell it higher or because it had components that they wanted, like to put with something else, But it's like, it's not worth it if they're paying retail price or whatever. So they would just, I got so many, it was just, people would push on $500 so hard. And I was like, dude, that is not the price. And it's not even close. Like, I think I had it for $650 is what I initially listed. But they would be like, oh, I could pick it up today. Like the arguments that they would kind of give to support like why 500 was a good deal were so ridiculous because it was 500 cash. Well, I was going to take cash no matter what. Like, that's the only thing I accepted. I put it in the list.
Yeah. Cash money right now.
Yeah. It's like, well, that cool. I'll bring another 150 and we'll talk.
Yeah, right. I'll hold the 500 as a deposit so you can go get the other 150.
Yeah. I should have done that. I didn't think about that. I didn't think of the counter scam. Send me 100. I'll make sure I don't sell it.
I will hold your part 100%. Okay. All you need to do is pay 100% of the asking price.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but I like your idea about trying because we talked about that on a previous episode, right? Of like, whenever I found that whole like community center thing in Fort Collins that had like machines.
Yeah.
So if you had a membership there, you could just use the machines.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember that was an idea you had right there. It's like, maybe that's an idea, lease a machine out.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to purchase your very own, but you could still, if you find something cool that you want to print, it's not like, well, now I have to try and find somebody that has this for sale somewhere,
Right. And add to that, by doing it this way, I'm still the only person touching my equipment. So I don't have to worry about someone coming in and trashing it or, putting in some kind of like garbage material. Like, because I only use decent material, and that way the quality control will save me money because none of my machines will go down for BS reasons. And I can look at the slicer and say, okay, it's going to take this long to print. It's going to cost this much money. Just go ahead and send me the payment and I'll start the print and then you can pick it up. Like, that's legitimately all that needs to be done. So,
yeah.
That I think is going to be my target for sure. And we'll see how it works out. I think over the summer is a good time to do it. Because, well, number one, I'll be more available to get as many prints done as possible. Since I'll be home for the most part. And on top of that, the being able to grab the stuff as soon as it gets off the printer and get it out the door as quickly as possible versus it waiting for me to get home from work for me to pop it off and then have to go back out and either ship it or drive it over to someplace. Just I think that works out better.
Yeah, a lot of time savings.
Yeah. Time is money.
Certainly is.
The oh, so over the next couple weeks, I'm gonna clean up the resin printer that was donated to me by one of my students' parents, and I'm gonna try and get some stuff rolling with that. I just got notified by the same student that her dad basically doesn't feel like resin printing anymore, so he's gonna give me his other printer also. So I'm gonna have multiple resin printers that I potentially will be able to utilize. I'm desperate to try and see if I can figure this stuff out, because if I can start like getting out like some comic book quality statuettes and stuff like that, that's going to be fantastic. That is going to be fantastic because those things sell for a lot of money.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have to? Is it just the printer that you got, or do you have to buy like one of those curing chambers and stuff?
He donated a wash and cure station, and I'm assuming if he's not doing it anymore, he's just going to give me all the equipment that he has. I mean, that's my assumption because
That'd be cool.
he
Yeah, if he
gave.
just doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, she said that his comment was, "It's just sitting around gathering dust. I'm not using it anymore." So, and it's any cubic. It's not like it's some garbage brand. So, uh, I am. I already downloaded a couple different slicers. I'm gonna familiarize myself with them and how the support structures work. I've already ordered for myself some comic book quality statuettes that are formatted for resin printers. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it, see how it works out. I have to get some isopropyl and clean the stuff up, but
That'd be cool. I've never actually seen like anything resin printed in person.
well, I mean, I haven't seen it in person, but I will soon.
hmm
I actually have a couple bottles right here at my feet because I had ordered some for the other machine that I had never gotten around to cleaning. It's literally just sitting here.
Okay.
So I have an Iceman statue that I want to print. So I got this translucent blue resin. Dying to see what it's going to look like. Absolutely, it should be amazing.
Yeah, that'll be cool. You might want to try doing like something in resin and on one of your FDM printers to just compare
Oh,
between the two of them.
compare the quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched some people do that with miniatures, um, and depending on the type of file, sometimes the miniatures come out reasonably close, but with the removal of anti-aliasing and stuff like that, the resin printers always blow away the FDM printers when it comes to like printing miniatures. Plus, they're easier once you get past the curing stage. They're easier to do post processing on because resin is easier to sand and stuff like that. So, actually, I'm gonna send you a video from that guy, Frankly Built. He printed out like this Iron Man helmet that he had because he does a lot of cosplay, and the helmet itself, it's like the battle scarred Iron Man helmet from Endgame, but the internal components that require like so much better detail, he printed those out with the resin printer, and then he also printed a Blue Beetle helmet with the resin printer. And when you see this Blue Beetle helmet, oh my god, it is without it's like movie quality. What he was able to print out and then like polish up is mind blowing. How good it looked. So I'll send you that video because I think that was the main thing that got me excited about the potential for resin printing. It's just that resin printing is more toxic in what it produces, and the post processing is more involved at the beginning, even though like the stuff on the end is definitely much easier. But
Yeah, it just takes more time to
Well, the wash and the cure don't take a lot of time, but doing it so that you don't make a mess everywhere, you know, uh, it's a patient process, you know, because the build plate itself is completely covered in resin when you get
Yeah.
um, so I already have like silicone trays that I had purchased in anticipation. So I have it. I have the stuff I need so I can transfer successfully from the machine to a place where I can then peel the prints off, then put them into the isopropyl alcohol for the washing stage, and obviously, run them through the UV curing. But
Mhm.
at that point, then I have to decide: am I going to start painting this stuff? And if I'm going to start painting it, then I have to properly sand it and do all that stuff. So,
Yup.
but I'm dying to see how they come out. I just have to number one, I have to clean my garage, number one. Then I have to clean the machines and then actually get this going.
I got some setup.
But I mean, it'll give us more content for the for our discussions. Um,
That's true.
and actually, once I do get them up and running, then maybe we'll have a couple meetings and we'll plan some stuff out to do the dual print. Okay. Um,
All right.
that way we can do the direct comparisons on the different stuff. So,
Mhm.
um, I mean, like the website that I got the White Star model from, they have tons of like movie character prints that you can do in either STL or the. I mean, they're still STL files, but they're a specific type of STL file for the resin printing. So you can do them FDM or you can do them resin, and they
Mhm.
have basically both sides available to you. So there are some things automatically that we can go through their catalog because they always have stuff on sale, and just pick out some stuff that is available for both, and then see how they come out.
Nice. That'd be cool. I'm down for that.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. Uh, so let's see. Oh, almost an hour and a half. That's cool. You have anything else you want to go over?
Nothing real specific. Just kind of for next week. I feel bad because I forgot about the whole painted project
Oh, well,
homework that we are going to do. So I will do that. I'll bring something that I will paint. I'll have
okay.
that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, because I'll need some time too to finish up my Hue Forge like wall hanging posters that I'm making for people. But I will also print something out that I can practice my painting skills on. So we'll get to see that next week.
And we need to hear about your ultra successful storefront that you're going to be opening at some point.
Ultra successful.
Hey, if you
And
sell one thing, it's already more successful than my store.
I'll grab that super tack plate and then we'll see
Uh,
if it helps out enough.
yeah, my mind has been
Because I
blown with
have
this thing so far.
yeah. Because I had that is one of the things that I have seen that came up a lot was when I was looking for warping issues, stuff. As I was like, try a colder plate, maybe, or just dialing down. But when I tried dialing down the temperature on my textured plate, then I had adhesion problems.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's like, I can't really go that far with it. But it's like, well, I'll try cold plate then. And who knows, maybe the cold plate will be the difference. So I won't have that temperature delta as big between base layers and the rest of the print.
You know what? It's funny. I just found a print that I had done. I totally forgot to mention because this is over 2 weeks old. I totally forgot that I did it. Uh, so think of the Lion King before I show you this. Okay, when
Okay.
Rafiki holds up Simba for the first time, right?
Very nice. That's a good one. Good stuff.
All right, so we are going to try to be on next week. Um, yeah. So and let's see, Shiggles is going to have stuff painted. I am hopefully going to be done printing all of my Easter stuff at that point. And maybe my Cheaty will be back up and running. That'll be exciting for me.
Good time.
So yeah, I mean, okay. Let me mention, I was not happy with like the last two, my performance in the last two podcasts. So I really didn't do much with them. I couldn't pull really anything of note from them. So this week there will be shorts from this episode because I feel like there was some usable stuff here. But if anyone is interested in listening to the podcast, it is going to be available. And I'm going to keep the numerical system in place. So this will be episode 7. Okay. Don't worry about 6 or 5. Okay. Don't even think about it. Okay. Just don't. Okay. But episode 7 will be up on Amazon Prime, let's see, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify podcasts by Tuesday. And hopefully I'll have shorts out starting Tuesday night for content from this stream. I mean, from this podcast. So that's something to look forward to. And make sure that if you want to see Shiggle's, amazing artistry, I feel like he's going to have his wife paint stuff and then claim that he did it. But
I'm going to do it. You'll be able to
tell. So we're going to see that next week. And hopefully I'll have good news on my printer. Shiggles, do you have anything else you want to throw out there?
No, that's going to be it for me.
All right. So I only have one question for you then. If you're not 3D printing,
what are you doing?
Oh, come on. What the hell are you doing?
Oh, what the hell are you doing? Oh, God. I forgot it.
All right. Bye.
See ya.